Strikingly beautiful, but disjointed. That's the first note that I wrote down after my stay at the Langham. An undeniably fantastic hotel, but I can't say that I'll be going back. I'm gonna tell you all about it. If you're new to the channel, hi there, I'm Kevin the Flip-Flop Traveler. If I want you to know one thing, it's that the opinions in my videos are honest and my own. If you'd like to know more about the what, how, and why I do what I do, scan the QR code to read more. Have a look around the channel. There are hundreds of flights and hotel reviews to watch. This full hotel review begins now. On this trip to Jakarta, a stop in my current Routes and Hub series, I think I finally found out why the higher-end hotels in this city are so plush and comfortable. After spending hours in traffic, it's exactly what you're gonna need. Today we're heading to the District 8 at SCBD neighborhood, which is said to be in close proximity to financial and cultural centers. I'll get to why I'm a bit dubious about that in a few minutes. As is typical for luxury hotels in Jakarta, you're gonna need to pass through security to enter the driveway, and then again as you enter the building. The hotel occupies the top 13 floors of a 60-plus story building, so once we head into the ground floor lobby, we'll immediately go up to the 62nd floor for checking in. As you walk inside, your eyes will surely be drawn to the installation overhead. Titled Haven, this mixed sculpture and chandelier is meant to depict 3,000 fluttering crystal butterflies. The installation is by Czech artist Lasvit, who is the same designer of the beautiful coral-like installation at the Regent Fuquoc, which I reviewed last year. Besides the centerpiece, the rest of the hotel's interiors and 223 rooms were designed by Singapore-based Smallwoods Reynolds Stewart. Could have went with just one Stewart. Just saying. In the Instagram and TikTok world that we live in now, the interiors are meant to be photogenic from every room at every angle. A design mantra that newer hotels have been lucky to be able to implement. This one having just opened in 2021. By the way, I was here during Ramadan, so you'll see some extra decorations in both lobbies for the holy month. Let's quickly take a look at where we are, and let me just say in all honesty, I've been to Jakarta 4 or 5 times. I travel a lot. But this is one of few cities, maybe the only one, that truly eludes me. My recommendation is to sleep as close to the places you'll be spending a lot of time at, because traffic is chaotic at best. I'm genuinely asking, if someone could concisely explain the layout of Jakarta and the best areas for tourists to stay in a comment, I'm sure many would be grateful, as much of the information out there is written as if traffic didn't exist or public transport was A tier. And here we have the grand 62nd floor lobby, with vertical lines which evoke Art Deco New York as much as they do Indonesian opulence. Just a guess that their marble budget was pretty high for this one. Just off to the side of the lobby, there are 2 restaurants. Tom's, which we'll see later for breakfast, and then down this grand staircase is Tang Court, the Chinese restaurant. Suspended in the middle of the staircase is another Lasvit installation over 10 meters in height. Enjoying the video? If you are, give the video a like. Go ahead. You know where it is. Yeah, just right up. Yeah, okay. Clicking that itsy bitsy thumbs up button will do precisely one thing. Ensure more people see this video. And it's free for you. If you prefer payment though, who am I to argue, my Patreon is also linked in the description. Thanks very much. Tang Court is a beautiful, lushly saturated space with floor-to-ceiling windows all around. Here's a peek at some of their set menus. Their actual menu is around 30 pages long. Let's head to the pools and talk a bit about Langham. On our way there, we'll pass by the Chuan Spa and Fitness Center before making our way to the indoor pool first. The indoor pool is small but nicely decorated in its own minimalist way. The first ever Langham Hotel was opened in London in 1865 and was known to be Europe's first true grand hotel. In its early years, it was known for its one-of-a-kind indulgences, such as electric lights, hydraulic elevators known as rising rooms, and an early form of air conditioning throughout. The hotel remained a standalone property until World War II, when it shut down. After the war, the property was bought by the BBC and used as office space, some pretty nice publicly funded office space it sounds like, until the mid-80s, when it was sold to Ladbroke Group and the Langham name was revived. The hotel reopened in 1991 as the Langham Hilton. In 1995, the Langham brand was sold to Great Eagle Holdings, who rebranded some of their existing hotels as Langhams, as well as began to expand the brand. Currently, there are 17 of them, 9 of which are in their key market of China. They also own the Cordis brand. As for the outdoor pool, you tell me. This is the point where I say the pool isn't doing anything for me. There's nothing that seems particularly special about it. It feels like a really nice residential tower pool. And then 12 of you will yell at me about how gorgeous it is and how I should be thankful to even be standing in its presence. But I'm just comparing it to what else is out there. I've reviewed 3 other hotels in Jakarta, and this doesn't hold a candle to any of them. Keep in mind, these hotels are all in the same price range. First, you've got the stunning and modern Park Hyatt. Then the sprawling and resort-like grounds of the Raffles. And then the Bill Bensley designed Four Seasons. I very simply think they could have just done more. Okay, let's head to my room. I booked through Capital One Travel, and this being part of their Premier Collection, I received some benefits very similar to what you'd get from Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts. I booked a standard room and was upgraded to a corner executive room with a view. I do kinda love the houndstooth carpeting, and I thank them for coordinating with me. The room itself is a unique layout and is stunning in 2 ways. First, simply in the materials used throughout the room. Nearly everything was a really premium feel. The second way being the orientation of the bathroom, with its floor-to-ceiling windows in the corner of the actual room. I'll put up the extra bits as we look around. While I am usually partial to Park Hyatt beds, I will say that this bed was the most comfortable by far that I slept in Jakarta. And now, I do need to rain on the parade a bit, and again compare it to the other same 3 hotels. And I only make this comparison for one reason. All of these hotels are in the same category of accommodation, and the other 3 all have nearly suite-sized accommodation as their standard base room. As beautiful as this room is, it's not much bigger than any old standard room. On its own, not a problem, but if you're trying to decide between hotels, it's a big thing to take into consideration. Especially if you're traveling with family. Just a quick FYI, if you're planning a trip to Indonesia, please check out the playlist linked above and in the description. It has all of my Jakarta and Bali videos, along with many more from other islands coming in the next year. I know the hotel is practically new, but you can just tell when hotel materials will or will not stand the test of time. And it's clear here that they will. Let's check out the incredibly reflective and difficult to film bathroom. Everything in here was just about as good as it gets, except for the generic Langham branded bulk soaps, which just did not fit the level of luxury that they were going for. Personally, I think Penhaligon's would have been a very nice fit. Great minibar setup with a selection of coffee pods and premium teas. Oh, and I've just unlocked a new content creator fear. Apparently, while filming, at one point I hit record, but it didn't start, but I thought it did. And so the next 4 clips are like the negative space of everything in between what should have actually been filmed. Luckily, all I missed was the refrigerator, but I promise you, I pay more attention now. Last up, we have the closet, which for a hotel that kinda seemed like there was a lot of shopping going on, might have been a bit small. And not too sure what's going on here. Okay, let's go have dinner at Morimoto. The well-lit open kitchen is a nice centerpiece for an otherwise dark and intimate space. Apparently, I was hungry. Or perhaps I just wanted to drain my $100 food credit. Definitely one of those two. I started out with a spicy hamachi roll, which was good but didn't deliver on the spice. 7 out of 10. For my real starter, I guess, I had the Morimoto bone marrow, which definitely gets a 9 out of 10, but oh my god, that was a lot of bone marrow for one person. Last up, I had the grilled short ribs. Flavor-wise, they're at about an 8 out of 10, but I do wish they'd mention how this was served because it splatters everywhere in a fine mist. Oil. Splatters oil everywhere in a fine mist. If you were wearing white, when you left the restaurant, you'd clearly be covered in oil and you wouldn't have known it the entire time you were sitting there. I wanted to check out the Rooftop Bar, but most of it was closed off for a private event, specifically the actual bar part of it, so only the outer area was open. It's a nice space, and I can appreciate the focus on creating private spaces for each table, but by doing that, you're kind of missing out on the whole wide open views, which for me is what a rooftop bar is all about. The drinks and service were really good though. The next morning, we head to one of the more stunningly designed breakfast restaurants that I've seen in quite a while, Tom's by Tom Akins. Here's the menu that they serve for lunch and dinner. The buffet in the rear of the restaurant is integrated into the full open kitchen and was a really nice high quality spread. There were also other bread and pastry sections near the front bar. My personal favorite was the live satay station, which I had a couple trips to. There was also a supplemental menu available. The left side is included and the right side has an upcharge. As I've said a few times before, the sign of a really good breakfast to me is when I don't feel the need to order from these extra menus, which was the case today. Service overall at the hotel was very good, and I think in line with what was on offer. But again, I go back to the comparison that I made to the other hotels that I mentioned. I won't be back in Jakarta for a bit, so I'll give you my overall take. The Four Seasons is the best staycation property, with beautiful interiors skewing to the classic side of things, but they're weak on breakfast and the service side of things. The Raffles, by far, and I mean by 12 miles, has the best service of the bunch, and their rooms and pool areas are above average, well above average, but perhaps not in my personal taste. But their food was incredible. The Park Hyatt was my personal favorite for style, the room layout and the pool cabana area, not to mention the beautiful common spaces in and around the reception area. Then we have the Langham. They could have created something very unique, something different, but they decided to create something that was beautiful and mainstream, which is perfectly okay, but it will make for difficult competition in this market. To me, though every single piece of this hotel from top to bottom was high quality, tasteful, and in many cases stunning, it all just felt more like a collection of nice things rather than a cohesive luxury hotel experience. That being said, I'm nitpicking within a very small niche of hotel market here. It is still a great place to stay, and its score, compared to the others even, shows that. Overall, breakfast here is coming in at a very respectable 36. And so, that'll do it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on my twice weekly videos. I'll see you next time on Batik Air from Jakarta to Singapore. Oh, and as always, thanks for watching until the end.